All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Apostle and Elders in New York, GMS. And salutation to y'all can run the world that's teaching this truth 100%. All right. And my name is Maya Ka'ala Bun Gad. All right. Or sometimes I go by Maya Ka'ala Bun Nagab. All right. Nagab means soft. Gad. It's my tribe. I'm a Gadite. All right. And I'm with the Chicago branch of Great Millstone. I'd like to make a disclaimer that we are not black Hebrew Israelites. All right. Nobody's a color black like the fonts you see right here in this scripture. All right. Black is a color, not a nationality. Okay. So we're not black Hebrew Israelites. We're Hebrew Israelites or Israelites. Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the confusion of faces that's scattered abroad. We are not affiliated with any black identity history groups. Okay, so on Shabbat video, you had scoffers on there. All types of scholars, so they got a problem with mainly the confusion of faces, and they got like a problem with the 12 chart, and they always said Negro all 12 tribes was Negro. True, all 12 tribes were dark skinned, man, and still are dark skinned. Jeremiah chapter 12 verse 9. But see, in their mind, the little sick mind that Esau, the Lord had ultimately let that man get twisted. He'll let Esau do it on a deeper level, but they mind twisted by Esau, and they think all so-called Native Americans, we see Native American, they think like the typical Native American you see on TV and stuff like that. Some don't think like that, but they'll say that the so-called Native Americans are the ones with the Negro type. These right here, all right, these Gadites. Okay, all right, this is from the book The History of the American Indians. It's a damn good book by James Adair. All right, and you brothers need to get these books for Esau stop printing them. Then they go up to like $1,000 and stuff. All right, that's what that book's $1,000. So Esau stop printing them. All right, so right here you got the Gadites right here. All right, they're like typical so-called Negroes, man. All right, tribe of Judah. All right, just light skinned. I went to college with these. With some Gadites with this phenotype, man. All right, they had yellowish brown, light yellowish brown skin, girls like a yellowish color, because yellowish mean it's not yellow, but it's sort of yellow. All right, man, there's like a light brown color, man. All right, they're brothers and sisters. They look just like this couple right here. All right, so these are Gadites. All right, so-called Native Americans, or you say American Indians. All right, these are Gadites from the Cherokee tribe. All right, it says a Cherokee, a boy and a girl traditional dress reservation in North Carolina, 1939. All right, so you got that right here. All right, they like to say, those who like to say all 12 tribes are Negro. But we present them with this, they like to call them Hamites, which is incorrect. All right, so that's another one of the false doctrine these scoffers got out here, that Gadites who look like this are Hamites. It's just totally wrong, because there's no prophecy of Hamites being on the curses in this Bible, man. All right. All right, the so-called Native Americans are the 12 tribes of Israel. The so-called Native Americans belong to the 12 tribes of Israel. They from the God. And the curses marched them as Israel. All right. And you can see right here, Deuteronomy 28. You know, because this is the blessings and curses if you don't follow the law, statutes, commandments. It says what right here on the top? It says what? It said Most High will bless Israel. All right. So he giving them blessings to you go all the way up to 15. It says right here, it said, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to observe to do his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all the curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right. So this will happen to the ancestors of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. So yeah, right here. It says, moreover, all the curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to keep his commandments and statutes he command thee. It said, they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for one upon thy seed forever. All right, so these curses should be markers or indicators of who the children of Israel is. All right, but the scriptures prove that these people right here are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. All right, the so-called Native American, you may call it so-called American Indian. All right, these people, the Bible proved these people are Israelites from the tribe of Gad. They fit the curses, man, in Deuteronomy 28. All right, yeah. Let's go right here in this book. Slavery in America. All right. Slavery in America. Okay. Now, it's by Dorothy Schindler and Carl J. Schindler. All right. Snyder. That is, how do you pronounce it? Schindler, Snyder, Schnott. I don't know how to pronounce it. You know, I haven't pronounced that word in a long time. I mean, that name in a long time. All right. So it might be Schneider. All right. It might be Schneider, Schindler. Either one. You know, man. You know, they go into slavery anyway in the kingdom. What their names is. All right. So we're going to get right here to page 216. And I recommend you Akim get this book too. It's cheap. All right, and it helps you along with the scriptures to cut a lot of those false doctrines that's out here. All right, so right here, chapter 9. All right, it said Indian as slaves, as friends, and enemies of black slaves, and as slave holders. 15, 29, 18, 77. All right, and the word Indian, that proved that that's a byword. Indian, that's not in get right here. That's a byword, man. That's not a nationality. So to prove that the so-called Native American are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. All right, it said Deuteronomy 28, verse 37 said, thou shalt become astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations where Yahweh shall scatter thee, shall lead thee. Because the word India, they don't they not Elam, so-called East Indians. All right. So that's another clue, indicator, a marker proving they're Israelites. All right, but the point is right here, the slavery part, man. Get this focus. All right. So you go right here, jump to right here. It says the enslavement. So we talking right here the enslavement of the Gadites by Esau. All right. It says right here. It says early European settlers of North America, like the Indians, usually took slavery for granted, though now they display a need to justify it on the grounds that as masters were important. Salah, as masters, they was improving the lot of slaves, saving their souls by Christianizing them. All right, they basically brainwashing so-called Negroes, Latino Native Americans with plantation Christianity. All right, but true to the European tradition, white colonists, they're not white, it's Edomite colonists. Edomite colonists thought of slaves also as a source of labor and profit. It says, when Edomite explorers first ventured in North America, they kidnapped Indians to act as informants and interpreters, guide them through the deserts and wilderness, and help them communicate with other Indians. It says, when settlers came, they faced a more complex problem. They wanted Indians for servants or for concubines, but they feared to alienate neighboring tribes on whom they might well depend for advice, help, and safety. Indeed, they very survival if they dare not kidnap. However, they sometimes could bargain Indians one of the white man's goods. When they did not have war captives to trade, they might sell errant members of their own tribes for a limited time as a punishment. All right, they might even offer themselves or their children as security for loans, but default bringing enslavement. The prices were risky for Indians. However, for colonists, sometimes broke the terms of the agreement, selling the Indians abroad or refusing to release them at the end of their terms. Okay. All right. So, Gadite, they might have a war captive. All right. They sell them. All right, then it says what? It says they might even sell themselves all their children's security loans with the far bringing enslavement. The price were risky for Indians. However, the colonists sometimes broke the terms of agreement, selling the Indians abroad, refusing to release them at the end of their terms. All right. Okay, it says right here, it says what? All right, so, you saw he... All right, so they have war captive. All right, so let's go what? Deuteronomy. All right, get this focus right here. Deuteronomy 28:54. It says what? So that man that is tender among you, very delicate, his eyes should be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. All right, so is it the evil eye? Then it says what? All right. So what it say on page 2? What else it say on page 217? It says selling the Indians abroad, refusing to release them. All right. So they were scared abroad, man. Get this camera focus right here. Come on. All right. It says, well, Deuteronomy 28:6. It says, well, Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again by ship. Egypt, all right, means bondage. It's talking about America. All right, because all 12 tribes of Israel, they was in physical Egypt. All right, so all 12 tribes of Israel didn't go back into slavery into Egypt. All right, that's not, history records don't indicate that. It's not a historical fact. All right, so it's talking about this Egypt, this bondage, and America. All right. This bondage started in this case in the 15th century. All right. It said, by the way I spake unto thee, thou shalt see them again. We shall see in the land of Israel. All 12 tribes see in the land of Israel again. There you should be sold unto your enemies. All right, so the Most High gave us up unto our enemies, because we violate the law, statute, commandments. For bondsmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. All right, so we should be on the slave auction blocks. We should be slaves, and no man shall buy you. All right, I mean, nobody should save us, man. All right. All right, then right here it goes to the disagreement. All right, well, not the disagreement, but Esau broke the tribe of Gad agreement. He broke an agreement with them. It says what? Let's see. It says Psalms 55 and 20. Get this focus right here. It said he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him and have broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smooth than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were soft than oil, but yet they drawn swords. All right. So they broke an agreement with the tribe of Gad, man. All right. It says right here, it said, as the Edomites came to appreciate the size of the continent, how much labor could be needed to develop it. All right. And back quick on Deuteronomy 28. All right. So it said that Israelites should be on ships. How do it said they were selling them abroad. How you go abroad? You go on slave ships. All right. Or refusing to release them at the end of their terms. All right. It said refuse to let them go. Well, in Jeremiah 50 verse 33. It said, as Edomites came to appreciate the size of the continent, how much labor would need to develop it, such arrangements no longer suffice. The record of get this camera focus, man. Hope y'all could you all could see this. All right, let's see. All right, so it said right here, it says the record of 16, 17, 18th century Europeans, Edomites in North America dismaying parallels that in Africa, and that the Edomites in both cases tried to exploit the labor of natives. It said in the New World, however, Edomites were also determined to establish permanent settlements. They were after land as well as slaves. It said their ambition soared. Why not use the Indians as slaves to till and develop the vast unsettled continent, or as training goods for black slaves? All right. It says, all right, so, Judite slaves for the southern kingdom. All right. All right, so they were slaving both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right. It said, as Emmanuel Downing argued in 1645 letter to John Whitthorpe, a war with a Narragansett is a very considerable to this plantation. For I doubt whether not be sin in us, having power in our hands, suffer them to I don't know what this is. Suffer made to imagine the worship of the devil with their powers. All right, so he accusing them. He slandered their name. He slandered the Gadites, Narragansett, saying they worship Satan. It said, if upon a just war the Lord shall deliver them to our hands, where might easily have men, women, and children enough to exchange for Moors, all right, talking to blacks, which will be gainfully pillaged for us, then we could see, for I do not see how we can thrive until we get into a stock of slaves sufficient to do all our business for our children's children. Will hardly see this great continent filled with people, so that our servants will still desire freedom to plant themselves and and not stay but for very wages. I suppose you know very well how we sure let's say 20 more is cheaper than one English servant. All right, but the key word is here is what it says right here. If upon a just war the Lord shall deliver them to our hands, we might easily have men and women, children enough to change for Moors. All right. So it's talking about the southern kingdom, man. It's so-called Negroes, the tribe of Judah. So Esau's changing, enslaving both the Gadites and the Judites, man, and changing them, man. Changing slaves. It's changing them between each other, man. All right, so it's another prophecy in this book. All right, to prove that the so-called Native American Israelites that the Bible speaks of. All right, Jeremiah 50 verse 33. Just focus right here. It said, thus said Yahweh hosts the children of Israel, all right, the northern kingdom, which the so-called Native Americans belong to, the tribe of Gad, and the children of Judah, all right, to the southern kingdom, Judah, so-called Negroes, Benjamin, so-called West Indians, Levi, so-called Haitians, all right. In this case, we're talking about the tribe of Judah. The children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go. All right. So you see right here, man, the tribe of Gad, so-called Native Americans, and the tribe of Judah, all right, enslaved together, being sold off, man. All right. Let's see, right here, it said for a purpose to get land. It says Edomites provoked the wars with Indians, sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, as a missionary to the Mohawks, commented in 1715 that the Indians have lately done a great deal of mischief in South Carolina, having cut off great many inhabitants, but as we are very well informed, is what they, the settlers, have brought up them upon themselves, abusing the Indians with drink and then cheat them and trading with them, stealing even their children away and carry them to other places to sell them for slaves. All right, so that's Deuteronomy. Read this right here. Deuteronomy 28 and 32. It says, thy sons, thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look for them, fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. All right. Okay, so right here it says, in 1636, in the Pequot War, Edomites descended to attack on Indian property, and non-combatants to gain their ends, burning Indian villages, crops, massacring the Indians they could find. All right, it said they had brought with them the custom of enslaving prisoners of war, the Mayflower Compact, including just a provision they seized on every excuse. In 1622, for instance, a Virginia settler declared that after Good Friday massacre of whites, massacre of Edomites, Indians might now most justly be compelled to servitude and drudgery, to supply the room of men that labor, whereby even the meanest of plantation may employ themselves mortality in their arts, occupations which are more generous, while savages perform their fearing works of digging in mines that like. It says the colonists made slaves two of the Indians whom they convicted as criminals for violating white laws. Thus, for example, in 1636, an Indian named Chesup of Rock Island was sentenced to be kept as a slave for life to work. In 1646, the New England Confederated Colony, Massachusetts, Plymouth, Connecticut, and New Haven feared that it would be changeable, keeping Indians in prison, and if they should escape, they are likely to prove more insolent and dangerous after that. So they further extended slavery by providing that if an Indian harmed any Edomite, since the property of the habits of the Indian village or of any harbored him might be seized, either to serve or to be shipped out, exchanged for Negroes as a cause would justify bear. All right, what it says right here, Deuteronomy 28, it says what? It says Yahweh shall bring to Egypt again with ships. All right. All right, so the proof is like the old saying, the proof is in the pudding, man. All right. It says him might be seized either or to serve or to be shipped out in exchange for Negroes as a cause would justify bear. Such a law encouraged whites to kidnap Indians. All right, such law encouraged Edomites to kidnap Indians as slaves and to raid Indian villages. It said in December 1675, South Carolina found another way to justify enslaving Indians. They will buy Indian prisoners of war from friendly tribes. It says, he said, a Indian prisoner, the Carolinas assure, All right, said thus said the Indian prisoners of the Carolinas assured their British proprietors, damn, that's a lot for mispronouncing this word. All right, proprietors are willing to work in this country or to be transported from hence, so enslaving them will not violate their proprietors' order that no Indian upon any occasion pretends whatever to be made a slave or without his consent to be carried out of Carolina. Besides, they said only banned prisoners could the Carolina save them from death. But southern relations with Indians were not monolithic. They treated different tribes differently, as enemies, some as allies. Thus, in the King Philip's War, 1675-76, Edomites and their Indian allies fought against the Wampanoag. Andrew Pinecka account of 1702 expedition against the Alabama also illustrate how Edomites allied themselves with some Indians attacking others, going up the river, all right, the Alabama River, 7 leagues upstream on the left side by Bosprint, came upon 6 Alabama boats, which made him believe that there must be Alabama off hunting in the vicinity. He sent a French soldier with a Canadian to reconnoiter. He quickly led his men up close to them without making noise. Once he had fired a volley, all savages were killed. Only women and their children spared. They was taken away as slaves to Mobile, along with their boats, loaded with their game. It says the Mobiles and our neighbors 6 leagues away, allies of the Alabams saw us pass with these slaves on our way back to Mobile. They came to M.D. Benville and asked for him, begging him to kindly get them to them as the captives were their kin. All right. So, there you go, man. All right. But the point is, the so-called Native Americans, all right, was sold as slaves, man. All right. Don't read this right here. One more thing. All right. It said, nevertheless, the colonies of North Carolina continued to practice, for instance, in Baker Rebellion, which began to conflict over how to treat the Indian Virginia Assembly in 1670. In fact, granted Nathaniel Bacon a slave hunted license provided that any enemy Indians whom his soldiers caught were to be their slaves for life. In 1677, by warning of these soldiers should retain and keep all such Indian slaves and other Indian goods as they either had taken hereafter shall take. All right. So, all right. So, proof is in the pudding, man, that the so-called Native Americans are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. There's no getting around. There's so much information in this book, man. I could go on. All right. So, Shalom.